I'm Kate Bolduck, and I'm here today with Paul Thornton, and we are going to talk about the 3D leadership model. Paul, what exactly is the 3D leadership model?
Well, it's one of my favorite management leadership topics. It's really very simple. It describes the three styles that leaders use to implement change. And the three styles are directing, discussing, and delegating. And I think just about every day, in every meeting, leaders use all three of those styles.
Okay.
So it's important that the leader knows what to do, how to do it, and they're good at it. If they're good at it, they will make a difference.
Got it. So basically looking at the three styles of leadership, can you give me an example of what directing
Sure.
looks like?
So directing is very simple. The leader is telling the person what to do, how to do it, when to have it done by.
Okay.
They're talking, they're speaking. Hopefully the employee or the receiver is listening, paying attention to the details. They're then going to go off and do exactly what the leader said.
Okay.
That's directing.
That's directing. And what about discussing?
Discussing, the leader is really asking questions involving the person. What do you think? What should we do? What's your approach? What problems and issues do you see? So involving them in the change that needs to be made, getting their input, getting their buy-in.
Okay. And now delegating.
Delegating, last one, it's really empowering the person, maybe telling them what needs to be done, but let them figure out how to get it done.
Okay.
Giving them power, giving them responsibility, letting them take the ball and run with it and get the job done.
Okay. And is there a time when directing should be used versus discussing? Do you discuss first and then direct based on feedback? How does that work?
Good question. I think the leader needs to figure out what style is going to help the person the most.
Okay.
So they got to diagnose the situation and the person's capabilities. Is the person capable of doing this task that I want them to do? If a person has never done the task, they have little experience, no skills, you really need to be directing. You need to give them some structure, you need to give them some step-by-step instructions so they know what they need to do. On the other hand, if the person's done the task 28 times, they know what to do, they know how to do it, you don't have to direct them, they know. So delegate, just say, take care of this.
Okay. So the leader really needs to understand the capabilities of the individual they're working with, and that they're directing or discussing or delegating.
Exactly.
And they need to understand their strengths and weaknesses and where they stand.
Exactly. And as you know, Kate, people don't stand still. They keep
Right.
growing and developing. So today, person may lack skills and knowledge in a particular area, but over the next months, he may grow and develop, or she may grow and develop, and then you need to change your style. So it's a constant focus of what's going to be the best thing I can do as a leader to help this person achieve their goals, help them grow, help them develop, that type of thing.
So it's very dynamic and
Yeah,
fluid.
very dynamic. Yep.
Okay. So
Key words today, I think, are adaptability, flexibility. Realize you got to change your approach based on the factors and the situation you're in.
right.
Yep.
Okay. Makes sense. So is there a best style of leading?
I was fortunate to have Paul Hersey as one of my instructors in college, and he made the point over and over, there's no best style, use an appropriate style. And I think that's the key word, appropriate. Appropriate means you're going to, again, figure out what's needed and do what's appropriate. Do I direct? Do I discuss? Do I delegate? Each situation is unique, so find the appropriate style to use. But as I said, in the same meeting, a leader is probably going to be using all three styles at different times during that meeting.
Right.
So the leader needs to be flexible and, make those quick adjustments. And if they realize that directing's really not needed, move to discussing very quickly.
Okay.
So that's really the message.
Very important. All three styles you would use in different situations depending on what you're trying to achieve.
Exactly.
So if you had to summarize the 3D leadership model in a couple of sentences, how would you describe it?
Probably this way. When you're directing, you're telling or demonstrating. When you're discussing, you're asking questions or facilitating. And when you're delegating, you're affirming and empowering. If you remember those words, that will help you use the right style and keep that in mind when you are actually doing that particular style. So that's important.
Very, very insightful, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kate. I hope that helps the audience, and I hope they'll use some of those styles. Best wishes. Good luck. Thank you.